So here's one. I've been having terrible vertigo for the past 2 days. Help. Anyone know of any home remedies? Okay, so does anyone know of any home remedies? It goes like this. You are begging for a button, an easy button that you can push. You want a silver bullet that will take you out of the misery. And it's the seduction of the mainstream, of the pharmaceutical, allopathic medical system. They say that they have these pills that you can take that will take it away. All they do is focus on symptoms. So fibromyalgia is an illness of, let's just say, 7 or 8 or maybe 10 symptoms. If you start taking pills, you will take pill for that symptom and that symptom and that symptom. Unfortunately, those things will interact with one another, and you will have to start taking pills that deal with the side effects of the pills that you took for a symptom A or B or C. There's absolutely zero chance that you can get to a victory using that method.
Martin, I want to revisit what you said about the nutrition. And that is the other thing that's been really insidious is we've been taught and trained to only eat things that taste good.
Yeah. Pleasure, seeking pleasure.
Seeking pleasure. So you seek pleasure, short-term gain, and it gives you long-term pain because a lot of the things that are, like I think of the Exula products, right? The green drinks that I drink all the time, and I drank them when they tasted really bad. Now, it's been years, and they taste fine. They don't taste like a chocolate shake. You know, I don't go, ooh, I can't wait. But I know that it's really important to my health, and I drink it, and I don't drink it like, oh, this is really bad. I remember telling you how bad it tasted, years ago. Like, this is awful. Yeah, but it's really good for you. Oh. So you have to go through, it's like a curtain and a bunch of curtains. Like you have to keep going through these curtains and unlearning a whole bunch of things that we've been taught, which is like, cake, birthday cake, cake, muffins, Halloween candies, all these things, Coca-Cola, cream and sugar in your coffee. I mean, it's all about tasting really good, which is gluttony, one of the sins, right?
Yeah, maybe, but it's also an addiction. It's like, I know of a man, you know of him too, who said, I will not give up my evening brandy. I would just as soon die than give that up.
Yeah. It was whiskey.
All right. Whatever it is, whatever you associate with the most pleasure, you would not want to give up because life is not worth living without it.
Right. But here's the key, I think. Instead of addiction, let's call it a habit. Okay. So what I've been taught is you cannot get rid of a habit. You can replace a habit. So I want to smoke. I don't want to smoke, but I'm addicted to cigarettes. Get carrot sticks or get something else that you can stick in your mouth because half of smoking is the mouth. And if nicotine makes you feel good, then just start using nicotine pouches. Right. Or gum or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, something.
So you have to look at the things that you're eating or drinking that is not good for you, like potato chips. Okay, what can I eat instead of potato chips? Right? Celery sticks. And you just gradually move yourself off of those things. Or you go out into the woods and you only have super good, taste terrible food, but you're 50 miles away from the grocery store and you don't have a car. So you're stuck there. And you go in the corner and just get the fetal position because you can't get your sugar fix. And 3 weeks later, you come out and you're over it. And then a week later, it's Thanksgiving and your mom invites you over and there's this big
on and on.
pie and you're back, a month later in the woods because your addiction came back.
Yeah. I remember how difficult it was for my mother when I showed up with my family of 4, 2 children, as vegetarians. And we said, yeah, we're going to do it as vegetarians. She wanted to treat us with love and all that. And we said, yeah, well, okay, we'll have the cauliflower.
No turkey for you.
Okay, so let's get back to this gal who's got vertigo. Vertigo is one of the symptoms that is chronic inflammatory degenerative metabolic disease. It's part of what the doctors would call the migraine syndrome. You could have piercing pains, you could have dizziness, vertigo, whatever. I know people who wake up, crawl out of bed, start feeling dizzy, get down on all fours, and throw up right there. That's the first 1 minute of their morning.
So what do you do?
Yeah. Well, the problem is the same four statements: toxicity, malnutrition, stagnation, and trauma. Just have to deal with it. There's no getting rid of these symptoms, and they are many, right? Like we talked about histamine-mediated inflammatory symptoms. It can hit any system in the body. Nerves, reproduction. Women will have dysmenorrhea or some kind of trouble with the reproductive system. Or you can hit your, I don't know, what else could we think of? The balance of the...
What you're saying is if I wake up in the morning and I get up, I feel good, I'm laying in bed, I get up, I don't get up like super fast or anything like that, so the blood's not running out of my head. And then I get up and I stand up and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling kind of vertigo. Probably the first thing I should do is, what did you eat last night? What did you eat yesterday afternoon? And then,
it could be as immediate as yesterday, but it could also be a long term, right? Like, for example, wheat does not leave your body for 10 days, right? The effects of wheat are fairly long. So if you say, I'm gluten-free except for Fridays when I go to have pizza with my buddies, you never have a day when your body isn't under the effect of gluten.
Right. But I may have vertigo all the time, or maybe I just have it once in a while.
Right. And if you have the once in a while, then the detective plays really important role. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
If you have it all the time, then you know you've got to detox. You've got to get rid of the toxins. You have to change your diet. You have to change what you're drinking. You should meditate and relax. Your cortisol levels are probably through the roof. Your body is breaking down, and this is just like the engine light that you take the gum out of your mouth and you cover so you don't see it doesn't mean that your engine isn't in trouble. But the fact that your engine has an issue doesn't mean that it's oil or it's the carburetor or it's the pump, or like, you don't know what the problem is. All you know is there's a light on that tells you got to go see the mechanic, and he then plugs in his computer thing that then says, oh, well, you need this, and that's not working, and this needs to be tuned up, and tells you all the lists of things that need to be done. Whereas if you think, oh, well, the light came on, I need to change the oil, and you change the oil, and you've covered it up with your gum, and it wasn't the oil, you're not going to get, your car's not going to get better.
Yeah, all that. So, my dear Stacy, well, there's a lot of people out on the group that talk about the pharmaceutical solutions. They talk about gabapentin, and they talk about Cymbalta, and they talk about Lyrica, and they talk about low-dose naltrexone, and all kinds of chemical ways of getting there. They may help short-term to block the symptoms, so you can actually feel okay for a bit. But the more likely outcome is that sometime later, the body has become more toxic and will have much more or uglier symptoms than what you've been having up to now.
So you're saying it's going to get worse?
Yeah, worse.